Hello and Happy New Year. This is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. I am back finally. I have missed all of you. It's so good to be back with each and every one of you. And thank you to everyone who has sent me well wishes and to all of those of you who have checked up on me. You are just so sweet. I really appreciate your concern and your kindness. And it means the world to me. So, before we get started, for my concerned subscribers, let me make sure that this is recording. Outstanding. I'm going to go ahead and let you know some of the stuff that's been going on, which is why I have been gone. So I'll give you a little bit of details on that. So for those of you that are new, or for those of you who are, you're just here for the reading. You're like, Nicole, I don't care what's going on. We've all been going through some stuff. Then just go on ahead and skip until you see me starting to move the cards. Now you will see I do have the cards out on the table already because they had me use six or seven different decks today. I'm not going to cover what the decks are. If you're interested in the decks, read in the information box below. I will list all of those there. I'm not going to be covering those, but there's a lot of cards. So as I was shuffling, I was just laying them all out. So that's why they're out. But you just want the reading? Come back when you see my hand doing magic over here and moving the cards. And we will catch back up with you then. Now, for my awesome, loyal subscribers, my soul tribe who has been with me, I have not been abducted by aliens. I haven't. I'm still here. I'm glad to be back. But I, like most of you, have just really been going through it. It has been intense. It's been a lot. And although the angels did warn me, it's nice when they give warnings about things, but warnings or not, it really doesn't fully prepare you for just actually going through it. Because last year they did tell me that by September I was going to be extremely busy, although it was going to be a different kind of busy. So not my typical dealing with my military retirement stuff, but different. And boy, were they right, because the last time I had done a reading for you, I believe it was in August, and I was planning to do a reading, but then I got very sick. I had a horrible respiratory infection. It turned into walking pneumonia. It was not good. It took quite some time for me to recover from that. Then my one brother began going through his divorce process, and he needed lots and lots of help to get things set up for a new home for him and his 3 kids. And I was going to garage sales. I don't like garage sales, but he needed everything for a home, setting up from scratch because he wasn't taking anything. And, Mom and I were scouring. I was doing garage sales, which I don't like because you'll go to like 3 or 4 garage sales to maybe find one thing that you're looking for. I don't find it efficient. However, he doesn't have the money. So to be able to help him out, you got to do it as cheap as possible. So there I was going garage sales, trying to help scour up stuff for him. But pulled that off. But just emotionally, the stuff he was going through as well. He was suicidal, all types of stuff. It was pretty bad. Pretty bad there for a while. But he's doing good. The angels want me to let you know he's doing good. He has overcome that. It was interesting. We finally got him moved into his new house just after Thanksgiving. And when he was going through a really rough time, I kept letting him know, you got to hang in there. It's going to be okay. You're going to be getting a couple big promotions at work over the next year or so. You're going to be meeting this amazing woman. You are going to be so happy. Your life is going to be totally different a year from now than what it is right now. And he's like, you're full of it. Brr, brr, brr. You don't know what you're talking about. You crazy, sis. Well, guess what happened today? Today he got the first of those 2 big promotions. So he's got some good stuff happening. Praise God. My other brother, also during the time, he and his wife gave birth to their stillborn son. So we had a funeral for my nephew. There were a couple other deaths in my family at that time. And also during the time that I've been gone, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. Well, come on, Lexi. Apparently she wants to join the reading. I know, it's been so long. She's ready to chat with you. Come on. And of course, she's the smallest one. She can't jump on her own. Okay, maybe she'll get up here in a second. And so my mother was diagnosed with cancer. She had to go through all that stuff, but now she is cancer-free. Happy to report that. And then just the typical stuff of, come on, Lexi, come on. All right. Did you want to say hi? Say hi. I'm the mouthy one. Okay. Now maybe they'll sit down and take a nap. Sorry about that. So the normal stuff, health stuff. You guys know I have physical therapy multiple days a week, all types of things going on with me. There were a couple health things that happened with the girls. And then on top of it, having to deal with the holiday madness, which all of you are having to deal with as well. But it was interesting because I posted on Facebook and I was going to record a reading for you guys last month. And I was excited. I was ready to do a reading for you. And then I get this message from my mom. She's like, because she doesn't live in the big city. I live in the big city. She happens to like to go shopping all the time. So we had our first family Christmas gathering. She sends me a message, and it was before Christmas. Hey, can you go to these locations and pick this stuff up for me and wrap it for tomorrow's gathering? Okay, but Mom, this is the only window of opportunity I had to record a reading to post online. Well, I really need help, so can you help me? So there went your window of opportunity for your reading. That did not happen. But we got through that, got through the holidays. We have made it to the other side, and I am finally back. So although it was a different kind of busy, it was crazy busy, it was a lot. It was a lot. But we've made it. Just as many of you have made it. I know that many of us are going through this transformational stuff that's been really heavy at the end of 2019. And we were so ready to take out the garbage of 2019 at the end of the year to move on to something better. So I know that we've all been going through it. So we are there, we're to the other side, and now I am back to my normal busy, ironically, back to just dealing with my retirement stuff. So I'm not going to say exactly what the schedule will be of how often I'll be doing readings or what types. We're going to have to wait and see. I won't announce any of that stuff till probably February or so, because I do still have retirement stuff that I'm having to do and having to buckle back down and deal with at this time. And I know you are probably sick of hearing me say, I'm still working on it. I'm still working on these things. Please be patient. I know. You're sick of it as I am sick of dealing with it. But things are not yet concluded. They're not. So it does take my time and effort to try and bring these things to a close. So, okay. So they want me to give you a couple of examples. So I'm just not saying I'm working on my retirement stuff. You guys probably think a military retirement takes like years to make happen and conclude, but that's not true. Mine was disability retirement because of my combat injuries, and there was all types of stuff with that. So things that I'm still waiting on. So I have a current rating. My current rating is all because of my injuries. A rating, essentially, when you have a disability medical retirement, that is what determines your retirement pay. So it's based off your rating. My current rating, and I am waiting for the Air Force to adopt, thus increase the rating they have for me to my current rating, and also increase my pay accordingly. So waiting on that. Also waiting for my active duty back pay. They did not have me after I was injured. They did not have me on the correct orders. So they have been working on giving me the back pay for that. So I would have made more money had I been on the correct set of orders than what I received. So there's this amount of money that they will be giving me. Now, my wounded warfare coordinator had said it'd take about a year. It's been, well, over a year now. We're looking at like 13 months now, 14 months. Well, let's see, 12, 13, yeah, solid 13 months, heading into 14 months. So hopefully that will conclude soon. Also waiting for my Purple Heart to be awarded. And then some other nitnoity things like, you know, for no reason last year they started taking money, withholding money from my pay. The reason that they threw out is not a valid reason. Like DFAS does our pay. They were like, oh, it's for your life insurance premiums. When you were in, I'm like, oh, yeah, because here's my pay stub showing I did pay those. So there's nothing that I owe for those. So waiting for them to reimburse that money back to me that was incorrectly held. And at some point, I will have to rally back around with the VA to get my rating increased with them. But at this point, not done an appeal or anything with that yet. After my experience to have my TBI assessed, it wasn't the best experience. You all will get to read about that in my book. I'll let you save that moment of frustration until you read my book, but at some point I do need to rally back around and get with the VA to get the rating up. So those are things I'm still working on, still trying to get done. So I will be this weekend sending some letters to some people in DC that have been extremely kind and helpful to get things to where they are at this point. And hopefully they will be able to jump in and provide me a little bit more help to bring all of this stuff to a close so that can move on and out of this chapter, and hopefully also find out who my new Wounded Warrior Care Coordinator is, because she was my gift from God. She was amazing. She helped with so many things. She took so much stress off me. She left her position. I still have no clue who has taken over for her, so I don't really have any help right now. So hopefully I will find out who that is and start getting some help and get this closed and done, so you guys can stop having me tell you that I'm still working on it. So please continue to be patient as I bring it to a close, and if you pray, any and all prayers that you could send up would be much appreciated. Definitely could use all of the help that I can receive with that, so we can get that done and get moved on. Then I'll have more time to do readings for you and more time to even do educational videos. So speaking of readings, we are going to go on ahead and get started. And again, thank you for all your patience and stuff while I have been missing in action, dealing with everything that has been going on. And thank you so much for your concern. It has meant the world to me, even though I haven't had a chance to respond to all of you. It has meant a lot to me. So thank you for that. And we are going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully these two will stay quiet. I bought them a little Christmas gift. It will hopefully help them stop barking so much. So let me make sure that's on camera. Okay. We're going to move these down a bit. And they're saying that these messages are for the month of January. Do keep in mind, there's really no specific time. So if you are a person, say for some reason this pops up in your feed and you see it in March, well then these are messages that you're supposed to see in March. So these would be applicable to you at that time. But for those of you that are watching this in January, these are your messages for the month of January. Actually, we're going to swap these around. Move these up. And these. Okay. I'll move them down so you guys can hopefully see the details a little bit better. How's that? Okay. So, also keep in mind, it is a general reading for a large audience. Although I pray and prepare and ask that all of you receive at least one message. If you don't, just come back next time and hopefully there will be some messages for you next time. So what we have, this would be your situation this month. And we have the Six of Summer in reverse. I will hold that up so you can see the details real quick upright. And we'll leave it upright in a second to go over it. You also have the Goddess of the Moon, Say No, and then you have this Risk Joy Guides card. Now, if this card were upright, at the bottom it says, children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past, remembering events differently in a better or worse light than how they really occurred. Now this is reversed. Then you've got this Goddess of the Moon that's about listening to your intuition. It's almost like this. So you guys are like wondering why is this pregnant pause? Because it's like there's two. Okay, now they're starting to confirm. Yes, there's two people. Okay. Because what I'm looking at, it's like there's two people. Because if you look in this card, you've got this Six of Summer. And you've got this, you see how he's all leaned in. He's got this big, beautiful flower for her. He's like engaging in conversation, ready to chat, ready to win her over, woo her. He's like, oh, I'm so in love. And she's like, la-da-da, staring up at the sky, not paying any attention to him. She's focused on something else. And then you have this Risk card. And in this card, you see these two people. Now, you know, it could be that they're jumping in to grab hands, or it could be releasing. This is releasing, letting go of someone, which does align with your cards. So I pulled the cards off the bottoms of all the decks, and I had the Wheel, and this like delays over, sudden unexpected good luck, a new car travel. We've got this card, Envy, followed by Happy Family, and the Magician. So you have been in a situation with love, romance. You're not happy. You don't want to be in it. You do want to, no, a number of you, they're saying that you want to have a family, and you will. When you release the person that you have been holding on to, they're saying that you've been delaying releasing the person. Hence this wheel, because the wheel is all about closure, completion. So there have been delays in releasing someone. And when you release that person, you get out of this dark, icky space that you've been in, so that you can move forward to having this happy family. But it does begin with you remembering that you, in fact, are the Magician. You are the one who holds the power. This getting to this happiness that you desire, you've got to take action. And for most of you, you actually have to free yourself. You have believed yourself to be stuck, yourself to be trapped. You've got this card, bust out of your cocoon. So you have been staying stuck in a toxic situation. And a number of you have kept yourself stuck in it because you're fearful of what is to come once you release that person, release that situation, which is why they have faith. And they also had me grab this card off the bottom of the deck. It's reversed. It says reach for the stars. So you have been settling. You have been in a relationship that's not made you happy. You've wanted unconditional love, but you've stayed in something safe, something that you're used to. They're saying for many of you, because like you're afraid. Oh, they just clinked on my windows. Okay, so apparently what I was about to say is definitely on point. So you're afraid that things won't work out with this new person, this new situation. So since you don't have this guarantee, you are not releasing. Okay. So for most of you, there is someone that you have in mind, someone that you have a very deep connection with. Someone that things did not end on the best note. And you want to woo them. You want to win them over. Now, she, or it could be a he, but she's not focused on you. She's focused elsewhere. She's looking at other things. She's looking up at her bright future. She's focused in other areas. It's not like you completely lost her. He's not there by himself. She's still there. It is reversed. You're not speaking at this point. So you are not putting, see how he's putting the effort forth? He's got this flower. He's ready to prove himself to her. He's ready to prove that he is not the person he used to be. So for some of you, it could be something that you did. Now, do keep in mind, so general reading could be flipped the other way. But maybe things ended on a bad accord because of something you did or did not do. And so now you want to prove to her, okay, I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that again. I'm different now. Or I want the same thing now. I'm actually on the same page with you this time. Sorry, I wasn't before, but now I am. And he's leaning in and he's putting the effort forth and really trying. But you're not doing that because it's reversed. And you've got this goddess, the moon. This is about trusting your intuition. Listening your intuition, releasing your fear, because you're being given this intuitive guidance, and they're saying that they've been going above just intuitive guidance. They've been blasting you with signs and messages. They've tried to make things, they're saying derail. They've tried to derail things with this person you're supposed to end things with over and over and over, almost to force your hand to end it, but you haven't. But they've tried. They keep trying. It's almost like they're shaking, almost like when it's shaking. How do we get you to finally release this? Because you can't have the new, which for most of you is actually someone you already know from your past. You cannot have anything with them until you release the person that you're with. So they're giving you these signs, these messages, these synchronicities, but you're having difficulty trusting those messages. So they're encouraging you to release the fear. Now you have this card, this say no, say no. So you have this person that you're in a relationship with, which is not this person. You are in a committed relationship with someone. For most of you, they're saying it's just a dating relationship. So a boyfriend, girlfriend, you're in this committed relationship with them. It's not been going well. They've really pushed your buttons. They've really made you reach your limits. you have not set healthy boundaries with them. And even if you have tried to set boundaries with them, they trample over them all the time. But you've reached your limits with this person. So for a number of you, you have had the conversation of ending the relationship with them. And every time you have the conversation, they're like, no, 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 we can work this out. Or they continue to make plans with you, kind of like, so say you're having a conversation, you know, this really isn't working out. You know, I really think we need to go separate ways. And they're like, yeah. And then like 30 minutes later, they're like, hey, babe, I was thinking we should like go on vacation to this island because isn't it beautiful? And like we could get a great deal on Apple Vacations. So let's go. Almost like, did you not hear anything I just said to you? Are you dense? Are you ignoring me? Are you deaf? I don't understand what's going on. But they're totally ignoring everything that you were saying. Totally ignoring it. But you're not doing anything about it. Instead of you saying, no, we are not going on vacation. We are done. Stop showing up at my house. Stop calling me. Stop telling people we're together. Also, there's something about online, social media, online persona. There's this image that you and they give off to people online. You need to stop doing that too. So if you got all these lovey-dovey photos, you need to take those things down. For some of you, it's almost like they guilt you to do those things. But you need to say no. So again, this is your situation. So in January, the time has come for you to say no. It's over. A number of you are having difficulty with that because you fear that that is unpopular. You fear what people are going to think of you. So instead of saying no, it's over, moving on, done. And for some of you, it's like almost like they're pushing you to continue to keep trying. And instead, you need to say no. No, I'm letting you go. Because you see, he's hanging here, letting her go. Or it could be vice versa. I'm going to go with what I'm hearing and seeing. But do keep in mind, it's general reading. So yours could be reversed. But instead of saying no, it's over, going to let you go. Some of you have not done that because you thought, what are people going to think of me? What are people going to say? What about this image? What about that? And for some of you, it's just been straight up fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of what they're going to do, how they're going to respond, how they're going to react. But again, this is your situation. So your situation, January, you are not yet talking to the one that you're intuitively being guided toward because you haven't ended things. However, this is beautiful because in January, you're finally going to release them. You're finally going to let them go. Now, for some of you that are wanting to have children, you have 2 children that will be coming in. Could be twins, could be 2 children. They can't come in with the one that you're destined and fated to be with until you let the one go that you are not meant to be with. So it's almost like they're like sprinkling, oh, here's some lubricant to just help them slide right off you because they're like stuck to you like glue. It's okay, Dad or Mom, we're going to help you get rid of them. We're going to help them slide right off your arms. They are clinging to because we're ready to be birthed. We're ready to come in. It's time. You're not getting younger. We're ready. We want to come in. You're ready for us. Mom's ready for us, or Dad. So we're gonna sprinkle some fairy dust and help you finally let this one go. But that's what you're finally doing in January. Okay. Okay. So I was asking any additional information on this situation. So we've got flowers, man, and we've got the wishing well. So flowers, this could be gift, it's communications, it also could be recovery, well-being. You do have this man, he's the determined man. He's not this smitten man, he's very focused. That he's very focused on the wishing well, his dreams, his deepest wishes and hopes. But the wishing well is also about, healing, digging deeper, looking at things deeper. It's also about hard work. So for a number of you in January, this communicating that things are over is actually going to require for you to dig deep to do that. in order to have the wishes, the things that you desire, it does require communications. Because he's focused, he's looking at it, he wants that. But in order to get to that, it requires communicating. See how this robe is pulled up over his right shoulder, which is the side with communication, and it's kind of draping off of his left shoulder. So in order to move into the future, to open up to the future that he desires, to bear himself, to become vulnerable, he has to close the chapter with the past. He has to close things. So these communications are closure. They are a release. They are completion. That is this wheel, wherever that was. Where did I throw those cards? I don't even know. Oh, over here. Thanks, angels. So in order to bring this full circle, close this chapter, these communications, they're not going to be easy communications for you, but they're saying you've put the communications off for too long. As it is. It's not going to be as difficult as you would believe. Now, why do you have to say no? What's going on with the no? So you have this toil, labor, poverty, and occupation. Toil, labor, obviously hard work. Poverty, feeling you've given everything. So, okay, that makes sense. That's aligned with what they're saying. Okay, I was asking them who, because I wanted more information on this say no. Make sure that we're not off target. So you'd think that like something's going to come on here about love, right? Because this is about a romantic relationship that you need to let go of, but there's no love. There's no smitten love with him. No, which is you. This is you. You're not smitten, you're not in love. And then these three cards up, there's no smitten, hearts, love, romance. No, we've got this toil and labor. This is working yourself to the bones, giving everything that you have to the point where you have nothing left. You have been totally drained, and this is being totally focused on your work, your career. But they were saying that the cord needs cut. You see these scissors? It'll focus, the scissors. They were saying when I pulled them out that the cord needs cut. This person has drained you of everything. Emotionally, there's a lot of emotional upheaval, arguments, conflict, belittling. But they've drained you. Look at you. You're a hot mess. Your clothes are tattered. Oh, you look so sad. You're dirty. You're dingy. I mean, you can't show up at her doorstep looking like that. You're going to have to get a shower. You're going to have to get yourself cleaned up. But the part of cleaning yourself up is to let this go of this person that's draining everything that you have. A rat. They're a rat. The person that you're going to be ending a relationship with, they have been doing some deceptive things behind your back that they have not told you about. See this cat? That black, sneaky little cat behind him. And there's a rat right there. They have done some things behind your back that they have not told you about. If you knew about these things, it would make it a little bit easier for you to finally let them go. They have not told you. Now, once you finally do stand up for yourself and say, no, sorry, it's over. No, we're not taking that trip. No, I'm not coming to visit you. No, we're not doing any more investments or purchases together. We are done, like so done, completely done. They're going to share some information with you. And for a number of you, they're actually just going to be sharing it to hurt you. Kind of like to throw it in your face. Because they'll finally realize at that point that they don't have their claws in you any longer. They can't manipulate the situation to keep you there anymore. And when they realize that they've lost the control, then they're going to share some details. For some of you, it's cheating. Like, you thought that the two of you were just committed. It was just the two of you. And you're going to find out that they stepped out on that a couple times. Or more. But you're going to find out something. And that's going to, because for some of you, you're still kind of concerned as to what will people think, what will they believe. At that point, you're not going to give too you're not going to care at all. We'll leave that there. You're not going to care at all what anyone thinks. Because you're going to be like, no, I can let them all know what a dirtbag they were. How they were out doing wrong. Because for some of you, they made you feel like you were less than, or worthy than. Almost to make you think that, oh, you're going to look like the bad guy. But you're going to know that's not the case. So I was asking who, or what is it that you're having to say no to? Are you having to say no to a boss? And I got this privileged lady, message of concern, and child. So this would be a girlfriend, or could somebody that you're in a relationship with. You're in a committed relationship with this person. Now, she could be vain, very pretentious, all about the image of how she looks, very stubborn, headstrong, difficult. They're saying mean girl. She could be the mean girl. Now, initially when the two of you started dating, it was kind of like carefree, fun. You didn't go into it with any intent for anything long term. You were just enjoying it. But over time, it has become this haggard thing, because you see how here she's youthful, and then here, oh, she's got these wrinkles and looking sick. The relationship became sick, very toxic over time. So when you communicate this message with her, which is going to be surprising for her, she does not believe that you're actually going to leave. She believes she can hold you in her grasp, in her clutches, for as long as she deems that she wants to keep you around. It's like a cat. You keep him playing at the end of the string. But when you do that, you will be able to have a new beginning, a fresh start elsewhere. And for those of you desiring a child, that's when you'll be able to come into a relationship with the one that you will be having your child and or children with. But this is signaling new, leaving this behind. Now for some of you, let's find out who she is. Who is she? Okay, so we've got community, distant horizons, and the family room. So she is someone that you feel is the one. You feel that she's equal to you. You feel she's an equal yoke. You do have even some mutual friends. Now they're distant friends. It's not like you're close friends, but there's so maybe you've got mutual friends through Facebook. But you do have mutual friends with this person. You may even have a child with her. Or you may have had a pregnancy with her. Because they're saying it's going to come full circle now. You guys will actually be having this son, this child that you... when the two of you were pregnant, previously it was not time yet. It wasn't time for him to arrive yet, but he will be coming in. Now, she does not live near you. She is at a distance from you. It will take a little bit of work. It is turbulent right now because, again, you're not speaking. It's reversed. You're not speaking. You're not communicating. It is going to take you taking the initiative to reach out to her and communicate with her. The family room, you have been intimate before. You see that there's no one here. Again, there's no conversation, but you have had intimate, you have had closeness before. But there's none of that right now. There's no communications, anything happening at this time. And in January, there still won't be any communications. The communications in January will be closing this chapter that you're going to be. They're saying you're finally going to do it. Finally going to do it. Why haven't you? Why not? Why not? Okay, well, they're consistent, if nothing else. So you have the ship, you have the owls, and you have the woman, the lady. Now, you'll notice something interesting here. Where did I put those other cards? She is his equal, his other half, his partner. These two are a couple. And I was asking, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you ended things? So you got this ship, owls, which would be birds. And that's all about intuition. You got this lady. So this would be like a very positive, favorable journey. So you haven't had the conversation with the one that you're releasing, which would be, and I'm getting all mixed up, which would be this one. You haven't ended things with her. They're saying completely. You have not done that yet. And the reason you haven't done that is because although you're getting intuitive nudges and signs and messages and all this stuff, encouraging you to move in her direction, your partner, your other half's direction, it's intuitive information. There's no physical signs. You don't even know if she's available. You're not sure. It's almost like you want a sure bet, but you're not going to get a sure bet. You do have to take a risk. Great joy requires risk. For you to have this love of lifetime, for a number of you, she is in fact your twin flame. Or she's your twin soul. For some, she could be a high soulmate. But for a number of you, she's a twin flame. You feel this deep connection. They're saying they cut off the telepathy. Okay. That's what it is. So, in the past, you could telepathically hear her thoughts. You could hear her, you could feel her. Now, in the past, you could tell she was real upset with you. Real angry, real upset, real hurt because of things that had transpired. But for some amount of time, you haven't been hearing anything. You don't even know what's going on with her anymore. You're worried that she's moved on. So now you finally come to this point that, okay, I get we belong together. I'm stuck in this thing. I don't know how to get rid of this thing, get out of this relationship. But I kind of wanted to come in your direction. But I don't know, you might have someone else because you're not feeling her. You're not hearing her thoughts anymore. You have been divinely disconnected from that telepathic communication with her. And they have done that in part to help, well, primarily to help you grow, to force you to do the healing work that you needed to do, for you to release what's not good for you. And they have had her get on a path and start to move forward. So for some of you, she is dating. She's not married. Oh, that's funny. They're saying I'm getting ahead. So apparently they're going to cover something about where she is. Okay. They're saying, yes, they're going to cover in a moment where she is. But you haven't been getting intuitive information that you used to get. Because you used to get intuitive information. So you have not ended things with the one that you're with, toxic, that you know you need to let go of. You know they're not the one for you. You have not had that conversation because you're not sure. You don't have firm confirmation that it's going to turn out positively. You're afraid her ship has moved in another direction. She's moved on and she's no longer there. She's with someone else. But she is still your other half. But because you don't have any firm confirmation of that, you don't have any intuitive guidance, well, more than just intuitive guidance, because they have disconnected that. Okay, they said they haven't disconnected, they've throttled it back so that you can't hear her or feel her any longer. Because that's enabled her to heal and you. Although this final culmination of your healing, of ending this thing that's not for you, that has to be done before the connection is, they're saying full throttle, turn back on full throttle. So, good news. You're finally going to do it. This is your situation anyway. You're finally letting go. You're finally saying no. You're finally standing up for yourself. You're finally, this is finished. This is over. Now, what is unknown to you or what you are unaware of? So we have the Queen of Winter. It says strong, patient, self-sufficient, funny. And at the bottom it says let go of people or things that no longer serve you. Now is the time to focus on your career, unmarried or divorced individuals. And then we have fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. And then we have shadow divine healers. Now, this would be the Queen of Swords, Winter Swords. Okay. So this is talking about the one that you're meant to be with. This is talking about her. So this is talking about your other half. Her. That's her. For a number of you, when you were seeing each other, because they're saying for most of you, you were never in a committed relationship with each other. It was kind of like a dating situation. You didn't know what she wanted because she didn't let her guard down. She wasn't allowing herself to open up and be intimate, vulnerable. She was keeping her guard up because she had been hurt in the past by others. But what you're unaware of is she has healed that. So during this time, she has healed that. So she is ready to be vulnerable for the right one. Now you'll notice in her sleigh, she's not sitting right smack in the center. She does have a spot for her king to sit beside her. Queen of Winter, ready for a king, but the king's not sitting there. So although she very well may be dating someone at this point, she is not married because she's single. She's not married. They're saying all hope is not lost, so stop thinking that it's gone. It's not. It does require some work. Not tremendous work, but it does require some work. But you still have a chance. She's not completely gone at this point. Now, they are saying that she has been through a lot lately because she's starting to come out of, cold, winter, snowy. She's coming out of a very difficult time. But they're saying she has long since released the nonsense of the past between the two of you, and she's moved on and been able to heal from that. I'm really saying nonsense, foolishness, the things that transpired in your relationship that shouldn't have transpired because of misunderstandings, things that were not being communicated, and because both of you weren't being vulnerable. They're saying it wasn't just her, you were not being vulnerable either. You weren't sharing how you felt. And she, likewise, two of you were mirroring each other. She wasn't sharing how she felt either. But what you're unaware of is she has healed those things. And for a large number of you, she is in fact your twin flame. You see the flame coming out of the top of the head. And this card at the top says shadow and at the bottom says divine healers. She has healed her heart. Now, our shadow can be those things about us that we don't like. Like maybe we've said something. So for some of you, she said some things to you that she regrets, that she wished she wouldn't have said. So she's had to forgive herself and heal those things. She's also had to heal her heart from things that have happened in the past so that she can be vulnerable and open up. Because previously she did not have the ability to open up. And for others of you, she had to heal because of things that transpired between the two of you. So for some of you, see how he's facing the past, he's got his heart. You'd offered your heart to someone else. So in the past, you didn't choose her. You chose someone else. She was your flame, she was your other half, but you didn't choose her. You offered and gave your heart to someone else. And she's had to heal that as well. But what they're wanting you to know is she has healed her heart. She has released those things because a number of you, you're concerned that she is still holding on to the things that transpired, and that's why you don't think that there's a chance. You think that, like, there's no way, this is never going to happen. Last I was feeling her and hearing her, she was really mad at me. She's not any longer. She's released that. So, as far as what is challenging you, let's see if we can get this done before we lose all of our daylight. You have the King of Winter. They're a couple. Again, we come back to a couple. She's your other half. This is the Queen of Winter and the King of Winter. Now, he's reversed, but I'm going to hold it upright so you can see the graphics. They're saying just trust the signs. You know that she's meant to be with you. You know you're meant to be with her. trust those things. So you have King of Winter, knowledgeable, experienced, fair-minded, unemotional, get advice from someone professional and objective, public speaking, and unemotional relationships. This is reversed. So you are in a very emotional state right now. You are in total emotional upheaval, topsy-turvy. Now, even upright, this guy's not romantic. He's not the King of Hearts. He's not going to woo you. He's not available for love. He's not open to love. And you are not open to love because of having not released the one. So you've got this Ace of Autumn. This would be the Ace of Coins. At the bottom, it says a windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. Then we have contract, and this is about contract. This could be any type of contract, any legal contract. Could be marriage, could be, you know, owning property, things together. But this contract even could just be in a committed relationship. We're committed to each other. Then you've got this Engage, Higher Reason, and then Orange Calcite. Okay, so it's Orange Calcite. It can be like the pleasure of something new, sexuality, opportunity to birth something new. It's also co-creation. So this Engage, Higher Reason. Okay, they're going to start tying it together now. Perfect. Engage, Higher Reason. This is about rising above the situation, because again, this is your challenge. What is it that's challenging you this month? This is rising above your situation, rising above the challenge, in order to think clearly, to think objectively, no longer allowing yourself to be lured into the emotional drama, no longer allowing yourself to be manipulated, because you're very emotional right now. They're playing on your emotions. So what's a challenge for you this month is ending this contract, ending this relationship. It's like you're blinded. It's like you're not even wanting to pay attention to. So for some of you, you're just throwing yourself into work and trying to ignore them. Because for a lot of you, you don't even want to have the conversation to officially end it. Why do they keep saying officially? They're saying it's like it's over, but it's not officially over. It's like the two of you aren't seeing each other. You're not hanging out. You voiced it, but you haven't officially dropped the axe. It's not totally officially done. And they're saying, like, you just want to put the blinders on. You want to ignore it because you see that, you know, she's blinded. You just want to ignore it, tune it out. You don't want to be the bad person. You want them to have the conversation. Maybe if I really piss them off, they'll finally come and tell me they're done with me. So I'll just tune them out and just do work until then. But it's not going to happen. Because they're going to show up, they're going to call, they're going to stalk you, they're going to hound you, they're going to get you emotionally riled up all the time, and that's causing you a problem. Your challenge, they're getting you caught up in these things, and then it's also causing you to have difficulty to focus on what is it that you want to create? What do you want to do? It's causing you to not end these things. For some of you, there's something tied to money. There could be a slight money loss. Like maybe you own some things together. Maybe you've loaned them money. You're afraid you're not going to get your money back. For some of you, they even play on your guilt, like they need your financial assistance. So again, your challenge is you're not ending this relationship to start something new because, oh, they're making you feel bad, making you feel guilty. You're not seeing things clearly. But the challenge is you can't create something new until you end these things. And for a number of you, you feel as though you are stuck, you are trapped, you can't get out of this, but you are not stuck, you're trapped at all. At any point, she can just lift that blindfold up off of her eyes. And for some of you to know that this is you, this relationship, you see these phallic crystals underneath there. So a number of you, you got into this relationship because you just wanted something new. It was a sexually based relationship, purely sexually based. You didn't want anything else. You weren't looking for anything else. So you jumped into this relationship. And so fast forward, you're feeling stuck. You don't want to be in this anymore. but you're like not in, and no, they were saying they were someone shiny and new, almost like showing off this new prize. You see how she's holding up this coin like, ooh, look what I got. Shiny new. So for a number of you, it's like you were showing them off to people. Like, oh, look what I got. Because physically they looked good. On paper they looked good. Or physically they looked good. But there was nothing else to it. So then you got yourself stuck in it. But your challenge this month is ending it. Getting out of this emotional upheaval that you're in. Why? Okay. So you have concern, lovers, and official person. Now, obviously, concern, anxiety. You see he's looking pretty worried here. Anxiety, difficulty, troubles focusing, feeling very pessimistic, even depressed, frustrated. You got this lovers, and then you've got this official person. This would be someone that has to be gruff, direct, forceful. So you are concerned about having to be direct with them to tell them that it's over. So they're saying it's like not your personality. You don't want to have to be the bad guy. So we come back to this card where, remember, you're not even saying anything. You're just trying to like avoid even talking. So like you don't want to have to give her this bad news. So you're saying nothing. And the times that you have voiced your objections, you have not been forceful. And that's the problem. That's been the challenge. She's not going to just accept your passivity where you've been saying, oh, I'm not happy. I really think that we should look at other things. Because you're giving out these small hints, but you're not coming straight out saying, we are done. We are over. It will require that for this to be done. She won't accept anything else. She will continue to bother you, to hound you, to stalk you. For some of you, it's even like she hacks in and like reads your messages. Read your phone. Like a stage 5. So she stalks. Snoops. She will not stop until you drop the hammer and you are firm and direct. And you are very concerned and not wanting to do that. But like you don't see any reason why you wouldn't do that. You get a beautiful new beginning, a fresh start. But this card is, again, co-creating. You can't get a beautiful new start, a new beginning. You can't get this unconditional love. Where's these cards from the bottoms of the deck? You can't get this unconditional love with the one who really is, in fact, your other half. Where'd it go? This unconditional love. This happy family that you desire. That's not with her. That's with the new one, which they're saying for 99% of you, that is your twin flame. That is someone you already know. You're already thinking about her. You don't know how you can make that happen. You're not going to get those things with her until you end things with the one that you're with. You are a co-creator of your reality. It does require action on your part. But you see, the only challenge this month is you having that conversation to end it. That's it. And the only reason you aren't doing that is because you're concerned you don't want to be the bad guy. You don't want to have to be forceful and firm with your convictions and what you want. But that's not really a difficult thing to overcome. They're encouraging you to think about where you want to be, because you've been in this spot for a number of months. Now, although the one that you're meant to be with has not gotten married yet, she's still officially single. she again isn't focused on you like she was. The clock is ticking. You can't afford, they're saying you can't afford to continue losing time. Time is of the essence. The time has come for you to take some action. They're saying you really can't wait on taking action any longer. Because it will be much more difficult when you come in and you're trying to prove, okay, I love you. I'm not the person I was. I'm sorry. I made the wrong choice, but I'm going to prove things to you, baby. I'm going to make this right. And then she's like, but I'm getting married in 2 months. Because for a number of you that are twin flames, she's got plans. She's got goals. She's done vision boards. She's like me. I sat down and did my vision board. 2020, I am getting married. 2020, I am buying a house. Period. Whether my twin's here or not, these things will be happening. Would love to have those things with him. But he just hasn't gotten it into gear at this point. Getting older, want these things, ready to have these things, make these things happen. Because I am a co-creator. Those of you that are twin flames, your twin, she is a co-creator. She's not waiting. She's not focused anymore. She's focused on the future. She's focused on bigger, better things. She loves you. She's still your other half. She's still connected to you. But the time has come for you to take action. See, he's taken action. They're saying you can't sit on your haunches any longer. So the recommendations that they have for you have grieve your losses. So they're encouraging you to stop dwelling on your losses, stop dwelling on the endings. They're encouraging you to end it. They keep saying officially, end it officially, and move on. Accept it. Do know that you are not a failure. It just was not meant to be. And you know this. You never wanted it to be a long-term thing. And they're saying that you can even see that by your actions. So for some of you, maybe she had children. You weren't really taking the children on because you never anticipated or expected to become their stepfather. You really didn't look at them as though they were your own children. Or you never really fully accepted her family. Like maybe she kept trying to take you to family events and you never really warmed up and embraced her family because you knew that, okay, this is never going to be my family. It's never going to be my mother-in-law. But you know that. Because for some of you, like you're beating yourself up like you were a failure. You were not a failure. It was not meant to be. It's drug on longer than it should have because you haven't let it go. And they're also saying you are not trapped. It's time to let go. It's time to learn from your mistakes and allow yourself to rebirth something new. Because you do have a new happy life ahead of you. You do have the life that you want, the life that you desire. Personal healing, happiness, blessings, joy, all this stuff is right there. It's right within your grasp. It's so close. You literally can reach out and grab it as soon as you let this go. You got psychic awareness, divine soul. They're encouraging you listen to your intuition. Pay attention to the signs, the images, the messages they're giving you, and trust them. Stop questioning them. Stop doubting them. They disconnected you from her intentionally to encourage healing on both sides. But the connection is still there. That's funny. She's still your fish. You see this fish? See, he's all grayed out. He's coming at this lotus flower. Lotuses bloom on ugly, murky, nasty water. You're coming up out of nasty, ugly water. But darling, there's your fish, your other fish in the sea. She's the one for you. So allow yourself to rise up out of this murky crud that you have been in to go and catch yourself the fish that's worth keeping. To do that, you do need to have your priorities straight. You've got priorities, master teacher. So to get what your heart desires, you must release the old. Don't drag your heartache with you. She's had to heal your twin, your other half. She's had to heal her heart to trust. I mean, the reason she wasn't being vulnerable with you they're saying for most of you years ago when you were last speaking, dating, communicating, she was allowing herself to be vulnerable because she was carrying her heartbreak. Someone had ripped her heart and broken her heart before, so she wasn't being vulnerable and letting you know how much she loved and cared for you. So for you, it seemed like she was kind of standoffish, like maybe she just doesn't really want this. Maybe she's not that into it. Maybe she just thinks it's a sex-only thing. But she was carrying her baggage. She was carrying her broken heart. The junk she'd had from previous relationships. Well, she's healed that because, again, that came up as something you're unaware of. She's totally healed all that. She's ready to be vulnerable. She's ready to share how she feels. She's ready for future. She's ready for these things to happen, get married, have the future. She's ready for a king to come in. She's left that crap behind and run. But these are your recommendations. So for these things to work for you, you have to let your baggage go and run in the opposite direction of it. So this person that you're breaking up with, that you're ending things with, you need to fully let them go. Don't take any trinkets they gave you. Don't take the way that they made you feel. Because for some of you, they made you, it really devalued your self-worth. They really tore you down. Well, you leave that crap behind you. You're done with that. Let them go. Let them sail free in the air. Leave all that crap behind you and run in the opposite direction, into the direction of your future, blessings, happiness. Don't pack your luggage. You need to let the luggage go. They're encouraging you. Release the old. Your heart's desires and dreams and wishes are right ahead of you. You literally could be there and enjoying it by springtime. They're saying for some of you earlier. But in order for that to happen, you must release the old. If you hold on to this junk, you will not get what you desire. You also have to love yourself. So this is rose quartz. Now this is kind of tied to two of these, they're saying. Okay. So this card, crystals. At the bottom it says the energy of crystal supports you and helps with your present situation. So you're healing your heart because you got this broken heart because this person was a jerk. Maybe some people you dated before them, maybe they were dirtbags too, made you feel bad about yourself. They fed you lies and you actually believed it. They made you think you weren't worthy. They made you think you weren't a good man. You believed it. You shouldn't have believed it. But now that you're releasing them this month, you can heal your heart and come back to a place of loving yourself and stop believing the false information that they fed you. And remember that you are magnificent. Now, there are a number of ways that you can do that. Rose quartz helps heal the heart. So you can get yourself some rose quartz. You can carry it in your pocket. You can sleep with it in your pillow. You may feel heart palpitations. Actually, some of you, they're saying most of you. About 90% of you have already been having heart palpitations since December. And that has been doing a lot of healing on your heart to prepare you for the one. But the rose quartz is going to help conclude that. Now, for you to help release this baggage, you see how she's just having everything washed away. She's in this waterfall. It's coming down on her. Purple is the color of transmutation. Transforming, transmuting everything. You want to remember that you're amazing, you're magnificent, you're worthy of receiving this great love. Things are going to work out. Things are perfect. You don't want to continue to be in the dumps and blues. That stuff has to be washed away. A number of you have trust issues after this person you were with. So to have all that washed away so you're ready for your next fish in the sea, you need to release it. So they are encouraging you to let go of this toxic baggage, emotions that you're feeling, to write a release letter. And I'll write the little blurbs that you put at the bottom of your release letter, but essentially you're going to write a release letter to them. If you've never done release letters, go all in. Write one for your mom, write one for your dad. Now when you write them for your parents, you'll write, dear mom, good, bad, and ugly, put everything in the letter. Then you put how mom's relationship with dad made you feel and how mom's relationship romantically with any other men made you feel. Then you put this little closing statement at the end. You do the same thing with dad. You'll find that you have relationship patterns because of how your parents' relationships were. And then you'll want to do a letter for anyone that you have been sexually intimate with. So if you are a male, anyone that you have penetrated. If you're a female, anyone that has penetrated you. Anyone that you've had sexual intercourse with. And you can lump them all together in one letter. Now, the most recent person, this person who broke your heart, they get a letter of their own. Dear Susie Q, You're a dirtbag. I can't believe that you lied on me and messed around on me with my buddies. And you didn't tell me till I broke up. You can put whatever you want in there because you're not going to give any of these people these letters. You are simply writing these letters to release the emotions, to wash these emotions away from you, to leave them behind you. And then you put your closing statement. Thank you for making me into the magnificent man that I am. I forgive you. I love you, and I release you. And I'll put the little statement that you put, and I'll put that in the information box below. Write them a release letter. So with all release letters, once you've done them, you'll pray, God, I always ask Jesus. He's a powerful healer. Angels, please come help me release this. Help me heal this. Help me let all of this go so I am free from these emotions and I am ready to move forward in my life into the dreams, hopes, desires, and wishes that I want. And then you read the letter out loud. Then you rip it. Then you burn it. I always burn it into a pan, collect your ashes. You can burn all the letters one after another after another. And then you go and dump the ashes. You'll want to make sure that you're prepared because even if there's no wind, the second you dump those ashes, they're going to be picked up real fast because that's God and the angels showing you, don't worry, we've got it, we're taking it from here. But you have to allow all that to wash away. They're recommending let it all go. Because then you'll be in the right mindset, and this is law of attraction. The Bible says relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. Now, what they're wanting you to know, again, see, there's plenty of fish. She's got lots of fishes around her. But you see, she's closed off. She doesn't have her arms open. She's not ready to receive these fish. Because you've got the big fish. She's there. Doo-doo, doo-doo. She's there. But you're not opened up to her. You're closed off. You have to open up. If we want great love, and you, most of you are twins, you have the storybook love of a lifetime that most people will never get. They'll never get to experience a connection like you have. You know it's a divine connection. You know it's a magical connection. How many people do you know that feel the other person? Feel their other half? Who do you know that actually hears the thoughts of their other half? You don't know anyone that's experienced that. Ever. But you've experienced that. She's your other half. But to have that magical relationship with her, someone that you can trust, who is your equal, who's in fact your other half, who you'll be saying, damn, why didn't I do this so long ago? Because for some of you have issues also with like freedom, like they just clinked on the windows. Did you just hear that? Clearly we're going down the right path. So some of you, you've got this issue, this concern with like freedom, like I don't want to feel trapped. Or like you feel like you've not had a relationship where you've been close with the person, like geographically. Your relationships have always been like at a distance. So you're afraid. But the interesting thing is with the dynamic with this relationship, you're going to want that closeness. You're going to want to be in the same location. You're going to want to live together. And yet you're never going to have ever experienced such a free feeling in your life. You won't be losing your freedom. They're saying you'll actually finally be set free. It's something tied to the joy and the love in this dynamic. Well, to get there, what the angels are recommending, we will attract where we are. So that's law of attraction. So if we want love, but we're not loving ourselves, because again, you have to love yourself again. Oh, the other thing that they're saying that you could do to help yourself is start to look in the mirror. For a number of you, they're saying the first time, do it twice a day for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you can just do it once a day, where you look and stare directly into your eyes in the mirror, and you say 3 times in a row, I love you, I love you, I love you. Do that in the morning, do that in the evening, 2 to 3 weeks, and then you can do it just once a day. That reprograms you to loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to attract anyone that loves you. We attract where we are. So say someone that is closed off to love. They're closed off. They're going to attract someone that's closed off to love. Like your twin flame. When you attracted her, you were closed off to love. You really didn't want to be in a relationship. She was closed off to love. She wasn't being intimate and vulnerable. You're both closed off. You will attract, we all attract where we are. So if you don't want to be in a relationship, if you continue to be closed off to a relationship, you will continue to attract the wrong people. They're saying you have been in relationships repeatedly with the wrong people because they didn't really want to be in a relationship. They weren't faithful. You couldn't count on them. You couldn't trust them. Or for some of you, maybe you were doing things that weren't trustworthy, or you were closed off. We attract where we are. So they're encouraging you to keep that in mind as they're encouraging you to do this healing work, to let the stuff go, to open up your heart, to be prepared, to be ready to catch the other fish. That's funny. Archangel Michael said that's all. And your last cards. If you do, in fact, take the angel's recommendations, this will be your outcome in the month of January 2020. Sorry, they're talking at the same time. They're going to give you an angel answer card at the end. Spoiler alert. Okay. My goodness, you got a lot of cards. Okay. Okay. So, if you do your work in January, if you finally end this relationship, you do the healing work, you do the things that the angels are recommending, this will be your outcome in January. You will finally be free of that toxic relationship. This is Two of Cups at the bottom says falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone, forgiveness, resolution of a problem, not giving up to heal the relationship. The relationship you're in is not going to be healed. It is intended to be over. The commitment is intended to be ended. So if you take the recommendation, you finally have that conversation, in January, you will be free of this relationship. And once you're finally free of the relationship, you can prepare yourself for tender love connections that will be coming in. A relationship that you will have with someone that is more intimate, deep, and connected than you could have imagined. But it also begins with being tender and kind to yourself. A number of you continue to beat yourself up. There's something tied to failure. Again, they keep saying you're not a failure. And you will find tremendous healing when you do those release letters and you do the mirror I love you work. And for a number of you, you also would benefit from carrying a rose quartz crystal. They sell them at any crystal shop near you. Most cities have crystal shops, and if you happen to be in a rural location, go on ahead and order one online. That will help you stop beating yourself up, because a number of you, you're very critical of yourself. But if you do the work, the healing work, you'll find in January you're not going to be as critical of yourself any longer. You also find in January that you will finally be able to make a plan. You've got these 3 cards. Then you've got Become a Clear Channel, and you've got Claim Your Art. So, make a plan. This is about putting together your goals, your desires, visualizing your goals and desires. You know how I said I put a vision board together this year? OMG, it's amazing. I got pictures of what I want in my new house. I got details about husband, future, all types of great stuff. But what do you want? If you do the things, if you end this relationship's got you all up in turmoil, you'll actually be able to think about, wow, well, now I know what I don't want in a relationship. I do know what I want in a relationship. Then once you're finished visualizing, okay, here's what I want. Or like, okay, I don't want these things. I don't like this. I want someone that's connected to me. You know, I want my deepest hopes and dreams to come true. And I want it with her. I get it. She's the other half. I get it. Then in January, you can put your plan together, your step-by-step plan. Okay, well, how are you going to make it work? You're going to call her? You're going to send her flowers? You're going to send an email? How are you going to start those communications? But you can put a plan together. You finally will be free of this baloney so that you can put a plan together of how you're going to get to be with the one that you want to be with. You also will be able to be clear with yourself about what you want and don't want. Some of you, there is something tied to children. You want children, but then there's this fear that pops up. But once you're clear, they just clinked on the wall. So once you have this clarity, You don't have this raggedy relationship hanging over your head anymore, this noose wrapped around your neck. You'll be able to start thinking clearly, like, dang, I do want that with her. And you know what? I do want to have a child. I want to become a father. I want to have a family. I want a legacy. You also become clear. A lot of you have been drowning in a lot of unnecessary things, a lot of confusion. In January, that's all going to be cleared out. Cleared out. Also, this is about procrastination. You'll no longer be procrastinating. You've been procrastinating ending this relationship. Again, the recommendations were ended, which means you're going to have finally stopped your procrastination. And for a number of you, there have been some unhealthy patterns, behaviors, beliefs that you have had. Those will be cleared as well in January. Now, this Claim Your Art, you are, again, a co-creator. This is your life. You get to create your life. You get to be the artist of your life. So in the past, maybe you didn't go for something. Maybe you were afraid it was going to work. Maybe you just were stuck in this negative mindset. Maybe you were in this feeling and belief, like a lot of you were believing that you were stuck in that toxic relationship. How can I get out of it? You're not tied up in a basement. You can get out of it just fine. Just requires having a conversation. Like you'll see, for what was challenging you in the recommendations, it's really just officially ending it. Because for most of you, they're saying it's actually already over. It's just none of you have officially ended it. Neither of you have had that conversation. It's not that difficult. But you've had this stuck feeling, or for some of you, you've been very critical thinking, very rigid. But because of these thoughts and these beliefs, you have forgotten that you get to co-create what you desire. So in January, you'll remember, by golly, I can get what I want. I can get what I desire. I'm worthy of this. By golly, I'm going after it. And you will finally allow yourself to create and go after your desires, they're saying. Because for far too long, you have just been fulfilling the desires of others, neglecting your own desires. But in January, that changes. And again, this is your outcome in January if you take the recommendations. You don't get these things if you don't take the recommendations. You'll still be in a crappy month come February if you haven't ended things and done the work. You don't want to be in the same... Okay. Archangel Michael saying you don't want to be in the same shitty place that you are right now next month. But only you have control over that. No one else can change it. Only you can change it. But if you take their recommendations, you get this next month. And next month you get to stop fighting. No more fighting. You'll finally be able to put your sword down. There's been a lot of turmoil and battles in the relationship that you've been in. And the battles and such will finally stop in January. They're also encouraging you to, while you're going through these things, ask for their help. Even if you need them to give you signs. Say, hey, okay, I'm going to give them a call today and schedule a time to have that conversation. If I should call them today to schedule a conversation, I need you to give me a physical sign right now. If yes, I should do this today, please give me a sign. And they will give you a sign. They will help you. If you're like, oh my gosh, I'm shaking in my boots. Okay, Archangel Michael, I need you to help me have this conversation. Please come in and help me have the conversation. Boom, he'll be there. Call Archangel Gabriel. They will help you. They want you to know that in January they are helping you with these things. Remember that. Ask for their help. Because you're surrounded by their help. Don't forget that. Now you have Smithsonite and Tiger Eye. Smithsonite, you see how it's green? Green is the color of healing. It's Archangel Raphael's color. This is all about rebirth from the chaos that you have been in. Clearing away the obstacles that you had in order to have a new growth, a new beginning. Getting off the rocky, uncomfortable, painful, difficult path that you have been on in order to get on a new path, a path that's meant for you. A path that makes you feel peaceful, at home, settled. They're saying blissful. This is what you get in January. This is what you get. The key is, and this, and you get all this. And then the last card you have is Tiger's Eye. Now, obviously, these are both crystals. But that is about, you will become more optimistic, because a lot of you have been stuck in a mindset of pessimism. You've been very negative, like Debbie Downer. In January, you will notice, oh, wow. Again, this hinges off your work. So that healing work, those letters, those things you've got to do, that's going to do this final culmination of healing for you. You'll be like, wow, I do have hope. It's going to work out. Oh, I'm looking forward to the future. I'm not dreading things anymore. Oh, man, I'm excited. I'm excited. And you'll stop being so, they're saying like you'll stop dragging your feet. You've been dragging your feet with a lot of stuff, they're saying. Not just romantically, there's some other things that you've been dragging your feet with as well. You'll no longer be dragging your feet. Instead of looking at it as someday, sometime down the road, I'll do that, you're going to look at, no, Sunday's today. I'm doing that today. I'm not dragging my feet anymore. I've waited long enough. You're going to come into a state of knowing the importance of time, significance, getting things done now. And most importantly, your optimism, your hope, your faith, your positive outlook will have finally, because they're saying for a number of you, you have not had that for years. It will finally return. So that's beautiful. That is good stuff. I hope you can do your work. I do, because you have such wonderful things that will be occurring for you beginning in January, if you can do your work. Now, if you've been hanging in this whole time, if these messages were not applicable for you, go on ahead and think of a question. Let's see if I can get a couple of these mixed up. Go ahead and think of a question, maybe a question that was not answered, and or a question that you have. Flip these in here real quick. And I'm going to pull you one angel answer card. I'll mix these in later. Okay, so think of a question. Your question. You ready? Okay, so let's, okay, there we are. That's funny. Well, I don't know what your question was, but you got the card Opportunity. And I'm going to read what it means in the book real quick, and I'll hold it up so you can see it closer. Okay. Opportunity. Positive growth and expansion is on the horizon for you. This opportunity may bring with it inspiration, insight, or it could be the chance you've been waiting for to take action on ideas you already have. You may be seeking to manifest the chance to create changes in your career, buy or sell a home, or bring romance into your life. Whatever your desires, your angels are about to open a door of possibilities for you. Step right through. And on that note, I wish you all a lot of love, joy, and blessings.